Welcome back, thrill seekers. Today, we're diving into a lineup of eerie encounters, from spine-tingling ghost sightings to unexpected creepy finds. These are real stories from people who came face to face with the unknown. So, turn down the lights, get comfortable, and let's explore these mysteries. Story 1. Mississippi Church Ghostly Incident. At a small church in rural Mississippi, a strange event was caught on the youth group room's CCTV camera. While the kids were busy, a pool cue on the floor began to roll and shake on its own, eventually snapping in half. Church officials, curious about who broke the stick, checked the footage, and couldn't believe what they saw. Was it just an accident, or could this be the work of an angry spirit haunting the church? Story 2. Strange Voices from the Bathroom. Our next clip comes from Reddit, where user Dustin caught something strange while at home. As he sat alone in his bathroom, a soft female voice suddenly called out, "Hello!" Dustin was sure he was alone, but even his dog seemed uneasy, as if they could see something he couldn't. Did he really capture a ghostly presence on camera, or is there another explanation? Story 3. Melville Cemetery's Ouija board horror. YouTuber Wishy sent in a terrifying clip from a live Ouija board session at the Melville Cemetery in New York. This cemetery is known for its haunted history, linked to tragic events like a bus crash and unexplained deaths on nearby Sweet Hollow Road. Wishy's friend Brian began the session peacefully, but things took a frightening turn. The Ouija board moved on its own, and even his car alarm went off out of nowhere. As Brian tried to leave, a fire mysteriously ignited nearby, adding to the chaos. Could these events be tied to the spirits of Sweet Hollow Road? Story 4. Tattoo Artist's Haunted Studio. Tattoo artist Liz Cruz from Erie, Pennsylvania, shared a chilling experience from her home studio. During a session, her table suddenly moved by itself, leaving her and her client in shock. Then, a chair lurched across the room, sending them running. Liz is convinced something paranormal was present, but what do you think? Story 5. Shadowy Figure in Melville Cemetery. Another visitor to the Melville Cemetery, Brian, was live streaming a walk around the cemetery gates when a shadowy figure appeared near his Ouija board setup. Despite his nerves, Brian went back to retrieve the board, fearing he hadn't properly signed off. Suddenly, a fire erupted inside the cemetery grounds. Coincidence or something far more sinister? This unsettling series of events left him and his friends wondering if they'd disturbed something that night. Story 6. Spooky Tattoo Session in Erie, Pennsylvania. Liz Cruz was tattooing a client when her tattooing table began sliding across the room on its own. The freaky event left both Liz and her client so shaken they decided to end the session early. Was it just an odd occurrence or something paranormal? Let us know your thoughts. Our first story takes us to a hidden spot in the countryside of Chillicothe, Ohio, the Crybaby Tunnel, also known as the Share Road Tunnel. Built in 1927, this tunnel has a dark history. Legend has it a woman and her baby were tragically struck by a train while walking along the tracks late one night. Since then, locals say her spirit haunts the tunnel, forever holding her lost child. Levi Woodruff, intrigued by this haunting tale, decided to explore the tunnel one dark night. As he walked through, he began to hear disturbing cries that sounded like a baby wailing. The sounds grew louder, and suddenly Levi knew he wasn't alone. But was it really the spirit of the woman and her child, or just his mind playing tricks on him? Let us know what you think in the comments. Meanwhile, TikTok creator Anthony Yamada was busy making real estate videos in Japan, but in one clip, he unknowingly captured something chilling. As he gives a tour of a charming, affordable home in Fukuoka, a shadowy figure appears behind a translucent wall. Viewers flooded the comments speculating that this shadow might be why the rent was so low. Would you live with a ghost for $760 a month? Jess, a nursing assistant working in a haunted psychiatric unit, recently had a terrifying experience. While working late at night, she caught sight of a dark, human-like figure reflected in a mirror. Soon after, one of her patients passed away, leaving her wondering, was it the Grim Reaper coming to guide a soul to the other side? Segment 10. Eerie Sounds from the Sewers. Mara Johnson was preparing for a trip when she and her business partner heard a bizarre sound coming from a sewer drain. At 5:45 a.m., a haunting melody echoed up from the darkness below. Who or what would be down there singing at such an hour? Though Mara isn't a paranormal enthusiast, this unexplained moment left her and her followers unsettled. Segment 11, Haunted Room with a View. Joey Chelney and his family had just moved into a new apartment, but it didn't take long before strange things started happening. Their son's toys would turn on by themselves, doors opened and closed without explanation, and one day Joey even saw a shadow pass by a second-floor window. Later, on his son's nanny cam, a rocking chair began moving by itself, wipes flew off the dresser and the hamper toppled over. Joey and his family have since decided to move. Would you? These 11 stories remind us that the world is full of mysteries. Have you experienced anything paranormal? Share your story in the comments and let us know which clip left you the most spooked. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more chilling tales.